x squared, x number. All right, so for my coefficients, what's the coefficient of the x cubed?
1.
What's the coefficient of the x squared?
0.
Very good. What's the coefficient of the x?
1.
And the number?
2.
Drop down. First one. 3. Add. 3. Multiply.
9.
Add.
10.
10. Multiply.
30.
And then add. 32. Box the last number. Why do I box the last number?
That is remainder.
Remainder. Okay, and so for writing the quotient, my problem started with x cubed, so my answer is going to start with x squared. So 1x squared, and then plus 3x plus 10, remainder 32.
If it's x squared when you're doing long division, does it change something?
Nope, you just do long division the same way. Okay, we are almost done. Go to number 30. Number 30. All right. There are a couple ways that you can do problem number 30. It says, what is the remainder when you take that and divide it by x plus 2? So you could do long. I wouldn't recommend it. You could do synthetic. Or the fastest way is you could do the remainder theorem. All right, so the remainder theorem. We are still going to switch this sign to a -2. And we are going to plug in -2. So I have -2 4, -2 squared plus 2, -2 plus 3. And then type it in the calculator. And that is going to be your remainder. So all you have to do is type the number in. -2 cubed minus 4, -2 squared, -2 plus 3. And so I get -25. So -25 is your remainder.
Yeah, sure.
So we just divide by the
Say it again.
we just divide by the thing to do the switch sign. So like it says that the we just divide by we plug in x minus 2.
Yeah, you plug in -2.
Okay,
Yes.
good.
Yes. So that's the remainder theorem. So if you're checking to see if x plus 2, you want to find the remainder of that, you would switch the sign, plug it in, and that's your remainder.
Oh.
All right, you're going to have one of those problems. But like I said, if you don't like the remainder theorem, I mean, you could still use synthetic. But it is, I mean, it's easy, so. But you technically could still use synthetic. All right, go to 32. 32 is kind of the same thing, it's just worded differently. So, the very last number. Yeah. All right. Shh. We have 2 problems left, and then I'm done. It says find P of 4. If P is this, and it says based on your answer, would x minus 4 be a factor? So yes, we're going to plug 4 in for the x. So 4 to the 4th minus 3, 4 cubed plus 3, 4 squared plus 6 times 4 plus 3. All right, so type it in. 4 to the 4th minus 3, 4 cubed plus 3, 4 squared plus 6 times 4 plus 3. Type it all in. And I get 139. So P of 4 is 139. So then it asks me, is x minus 4 a factor? No. Why? Because remainder is not 0. Your remainder is 139. And it has to be 0 for it to be a factor.
You gotta write out it.
You have to justify in some way.
Out, you say explain why.
Yeah. And I think there is one on your test that's going to say explain just like this. So there is one problem just like this. Make sure you justify in some way. You don't have to write a complete sentence.
How many the third?
1. All right, and final question on the test. This is number 20. Well, not specifically number 20, but number 20 of the 20 questions. The word problem, which really actually is not that bad because you can use synthetic. It says, given a rectangular suitcase, its volume is represented by this polynomial. The height is x minus 1, and I want to find the length. Assume the length is greater than the width. So, volume is length times width times height. And I know the height. So I'm going to divide the height out so I can figure out what the length and the width are. So I'm going to use synthetic because it's easier. What number goes on the outside? 1. A 1, positive 1. For my exponents, I have x3, x2, x. Good. 1, 7, 4, negative 12. Drop the 1. So what goes here? 1, 8, 8, 12, 12. If you're not getting 0 as your remainder, you probably did something wrong because x minus 1 is a factor. I'm telling you it's a factor. So if you're not getting 0, you probably did something wrong. If you're doing this word problem, I tell you it's the height. Yeah.
Assuming the length
No.
is greater than the width.
All right, so x squared plus 8x plus 12. Now I need to factor this. What two numbers multiply to give you 12, add to give you 8? 6 and 2. X plus 6, x plus 2. All right, so now I just need to determine which one is length, which one is height. So length is greater. So which one's going to be the length? X plus 6. And that's it. And that's the test. No, I'm not taking it for a grade.
What am I doing this for?